Good evening, Dhamma friends. Welcome back to another uh, Sutta study episode. Today with the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta. Before we get started, shall we respect the Buddha? Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhassa. All right, so today, as Sister Sonia said, we will be going to discuss about Samma Ajiva. I think I haven't gone to the text after a while, so maybe I want to show you where we are yet. Let's see the text again. Okay, it's the text. Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta. So we have done this part, background part, and then sensual indulgence comes Kalikana Yoga. And we have also done Dhammacakkappavattana part 2. And after that, we came down to the Noble Eightfold Path, Majjhima Paripada. Actually, there is a upcoming section where you see the Four Noble Truths differently. So at that point, as you can see here, the Four Noble Truths, the first Noble Truth, and second, there you see again the Noble Eightfold Path. So we will be skipping that part because we've been already discussing the Noble Eightfold Path here. So we are right here now at the place where the Buddha introduces the middle path. So you can see Samma Kammanto is what we did. So we have Samma Ajiva, right living. All right. Now, there has been a debate among scholars, even some practitioners, scholarly practitioners some time ago. How come a noble disciple who has come down to Samma Kammanta, right action, considers doing some jobs? So there were some issues in translating this English, what do you call, Ajiva, Pali word Ajiva. And some translated this to be right livelihood, making it to kind of a job. That's a different kind of perspective, actually. What is the, what are the, considerable Buddhist type of works? And we will study that too a little bit today. And some didn't like to translate the word Pali word Ajiva to be livelihood, making it kind of a living, like kind of a job kind of thing. Rather, they translated this to be living, right? Living. Even you became a certain noble disciple, you have to live. And when you live, you have to make a certain way to sustain your life, subsist on a certain way of life to make your living, right? It's not like that you're going to resign from all the jobs that you've been doing and thinking that now I'm a noble disciple. At this point, what we understand is that the Buddha is trying to tell everybody that if you really want to follow the Noble Eightfold Path, there comes a stage where you have to be free from unethical ways of making a living. Unethical, un-Buddhist ways of making a living. This is what Samma Ajiva means. Samma Ajiva means. All right. So there was a long-term debate about translation. Of course, there are a lot of issues with translations. Is it right livelihood or right living? And understanding that nobody is free from living. Everybody has to have a living. Otherwise, everybody should become monks and nuns, and some other devotees have to work hard to provide the requisites. It won't happen. It can't happen. So Right living means whatever the jobs that you are engaged with, uh, you are supposed to be clear free from those unethical ways of making your living. Right? Let's go to the notes for today. I hope our notes have been very supportive to you rather than just giving a Dhamma talk and then just disappear, and you have something to work on. So you are always welcome to ask me any questions after this discussion too. Uh, if you have any questions, if, let's say you are not able to ask, uh, you are not prepared to ask, but you later on you find out that I have questions, you are very free, welcome to send me a message, and I will be able to reply to you as soon as I'm free. And I, because of these different programs, I'm time to time kind of busy, but I'm able to provide you a specific answer. So don't worry if you have any questions. If you think you are missing out on the live time, maybe 30 minutes, you can ask questions even after. Yeah, but it might be nice, wonderful to ask questions one on one like this. So see direct answer. Right? Yeah, different people are different. Right? Okay, so day nine today. And okay, first of all, I wanted to discuss about this Pali word ajiva. See here, ajiva. What does a jiva mean? A is a prefix, right? A is a prefix. Now in Pali, A means uh, setting the boundary. When you see the Pali word A, that shows that there is a boundary. Now you see the Pali word called Ananda, it's a name, the name of the chief ministry monk. Nanda means joy. Ananda means right to the point of, right to the stage of joy. Upananda means, Nanda prefixed by Upa, is not joyful, but in the neighborhood of joy. In the neighborhood of joy. Upa means neighborhood. So let's say Nanda means joy, and when it's prefixed by Upa, means that in the neighborhood of joy. Sometimes we are in the neighborhood of a lot of things, but we are going to miss out on that finally. Right? We are not right, landing not right onto that particular state of mind. So A means boundary, setting the boundary. Jiva means living. Jiva, that you are going to set the boundary on your living. This does not mean that you have to stay away from work. It means that your work has to be specified in clear terms, which the Buddha actually discussing here in this Ajiva context. All right, then what I'm going to show you is that a place where Buddha talks about certain jobs. Actually, they are not very much related to Samma Ajiva because what you call these 5 jobs which are prohibited, which are actually considered try not to do. But in the worst case scenario, it can be a different thing. Okay, so the Buddha says in Anguttara Nikaya's 5th book that there are some work it's better to avoid, but in today's world you may not be able to avoid completely. So what could be the attitude? What could be the perception that we are going to have for these ones? So let's identify these 5 and then go to Samaj. 5 types of business, I would say, work in which a layperson should not engage. Anguttara Nikaya 5177. Pancha Vanijja Sutta actually. Panchima Bhikkhave Vanijja Upasakena Karani. Upasake. Who is the Upasaka Dhamma, folks? Upasaka. Who is the Upasaka? Upasaka means the male version. Upasika means the female version. Who do we call as a Upasika? Upasaka. Upasaka means the person who has gone to the tree refuge, triple gem, who has already gone to Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha 3 times. Tutiyampi Tatiyam. So now let's say you all have gone to refuge, triple gem. But you, Akaraniya, there are 5 types of work that it is better Upasika should avoid. Katama Pancha, Sattha Vanija, Sattha Vanija, as well. Sattha H. Sattha Vanija, Mansa Vanija, Majja Vanija, Misa Vanija. Ima O Bhikkhave Pancha Vanija, Upasakena, Akaraniyati. Okay. This means that there are certain 5 works that you have to avoid. Let's see what they are here. Clear terms. Okay. Sattha Vanija means business in weapons. Now, I don't think the Buddha saw guns, explosives, ammunition kind of stuff at that point. Probably maybe things that might kill other beings at that point. So, I mean, this is a list of works that Buddha asks a layperson is better to avoid. There may be times that a layperson might not be able to avoid, but try to avoid. The second one is Sattha Vanija, which means business in human beings. What is a proper word for that? Human smuggling, human trafficking, and that's a proper understanding. I mean, it's not nice to engage in human trafficking, human smuggling. It's a punishable crime in anywhere in the world. So, second thing. Third one is Mansa Vanija, business in meat. Right? And we have no idea about what kind of meat the Buddha actually said. So anyway, it's generally meat, he says. And then Visa Vanija, business in poison. Visa means poison. Now the problem is there may be certain people who might be engaged in fertilizer business, who might be engaged in big pharmaceutical companies where they have to mix some chemicals and then to make some medication. So these are exceptions actually in a way. But anyways, not to sell poison, probably to avoid any bad things happening. But this was given according to the time. But nowadays, when you go to a shop to buy some poison, you will have to go through a lot of things, isn't it? I mean, you have to write down, there's a legal process. And on the other hand, even let's say there's somebody who wants to have a gun in some countries, you have to go through a very rigorous process, checking who you are and probably for self-defense. And if you see that, it depends actually. So legal ways of getting a gun, places like US, and it's a rigorous process. But shootings happen. Are shootings being happened by the people who legally own a gun, or maybe they got from black market for cheaper prices. So there are things that we have to understand. The modern life, owning gun is a question, but the problem is that for us to live in a proper way, soldiers have to use, and law enforcement, they have to use certain equipment, right? Anyways, for a upasika, the Buddha says, according to the time, they have to consider whether they are going to engage in these 5 types of works. I would say if the upasikas, a layperson, laywomen, want to do a work, maybe a business, doubling, tripling, quadrupling their money based on selling these things, it might not be a Buddhist way of making a living, right? This is something to learn at the beginning. All right, this is another. This is a sutta. You can read Anguttara Nikaya 5.177. Okay. What are the most significant? Okay, today what we are going to basically learn is that when you are practicing the Noble Eightfold Path, you need to consider certain wrong ways of making money. Not even the 5 jobs, something beyond that. So, Buddha has not particularly specified certain jobs under the Samma Ajiva. This particular statement section comes in a different Anguttara Nikaya Sutta. So, according to that Sutta, Buddha loosely talks about 5 businesses that people have to avoid. But when it comes to the Noble Eightfold Path, there is no particular mention about this, that kind of job. But he says, whatever the job you are involved with, you must stay clear from these wrong ways of making that particular living. In addition to that, what are the most significant lessons the Buddha taught about money? You can read 6 channels for dissipating wealth, 4 types of happiness for a householder, partaking of sensuality, enjoying sensuality. I think you can see if you go to the links, you will see this is from the Singalavada Sutta. This is mostly from, I think, Vyakapada Sutta. See, books. No, Anana Sutta. Very interesting suttas. Huh? Now, this sutta says that there are 6 ways where you will waste your money. And this sutta says there are 4 types of happinesses. Anana, Anavajja, Bhoga, Bhoga, Anana, Anavajja, and there's another happiness. Very interesting to read. Huh? Because of timing, I won't go to read all that, to go to Samma. This is Samma Ajiva. Okay? Katamocha bhikkhave miccha ajivo. Kuhana, lapana, nemitti kata, nippesi kata, labena labam, nijigin sanata. So there are a few things to avoid. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The sutta is Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, Majjhima Nikaya 117. You have to stay clear from scheming. Lapana means this is a different kind of talking. Okay, we will explain that. Not just talking. Nemitti kata means hinting. Nippesi kata means belittling. And labena laba nijigin sanata means pursuing gain with gain, motivated by avijja, covetousness. So these are the 5 things that you have to stay clear from. Thereby, you are not falling into miccha ajiva, wrong living. Okay, let's see. Let's understand one by one. Okay, scheming, puhana. Cheating people for a living by scheming. Cheating. You are going to cheat your customers or whoever the audience of people who are going to engage with you, frontline or maybe behind the scene. You are going to cheat. How you can cheat? Hypocrisy in use. This is another word, scheming. Scheming in use of requisite. This is for the monks and nuns. Very interesting parts today we are discussing. Yeah? Second thing is scheming or hypocrisy in talk on subjects close to attainments of the path and fruition state. Samanta japa. Third one, scheming or hypocrisy in change of postures to deceive lay people. Iryapada. Very interesting. Number 1, let's talk about how a monastic can fall into kuhana. First one is in use of requisites. What are the requisites a monastic needs initially? Chivara, pindapata, gilana pache, senas. Chivara means clothing, robes, and then pindapata means food. Then gilana pache means medicine. Senasana means lodging. There may be some monastics who might, I think it's not a bad way to say that, some, not everybody, yeah? Because we are always trying to respect. There may be some cheating happening, maybe show, I would say, more sila to gain more respect from the lay people, right? Show more, how to say that? Show more sila, morality. Because normally lay people easily get cheated on the sila part. Oh, this one seems to be very good, very ethical, better than others whom I have seen so far. So I have to give more, offer more. Maybe I have to engage more. So there were some monastics even at the time of the Buddha. So the Buddha said, do not cheat on people because of four requisites, even for the robes, even for the pindapata, even for Gilana Pache medicines, even for uh, temples, monasteries in today's world. Right. So that's number one in terms of the monastic side. Number two is talking to devotees about subjects that uh, conversation, which are about that I have attained certain jhanas, I have attained sotapanna, I have attained anagami, I have attained sakadagami, I have a certain attainment. Telling these kind of things to devotees and to gain more respect, to gain more things from them, to gain more XYZ things. That is a Micha Ajiva for a monk, for a monastic. Right? The Buddha says, we call it, the first one is called, what you call Pachaya Patiseva, it's called Samanta Japan. Actually, there are a lot of stories about this stuff from the Buddha's time where some of the misled monastics engage in. I'm telling this not to disrespect any monastic. There are a lot of good monastics. What I'm trying to say is that things like that can happen anytime. So there needs some caution on your side too. So normally a monastic is not supposed to air about attainments, whatever. It's not proper. It's a parajikaya. They are not supposed to say that I have attained this and that, because this was one of the things, one of the ways that they used to gain more respect from the people, to gain more respect, to gain more requisites in today's world, to gain more donations and all that. So they are not supposed to say as such. If the devotee is happy, if the devotee is happy without anything, that's okay. But other than that, not telling that I have attained this and that. Third one is making postures to deceive lay devotees. Iriya the Santa. Interesting. There were two stories we know in the text. In one story, there was a monk living in a hilly place, and devotees always have to go up, climb up the mountain to go there. But he made a rope from the top place to the bottom. So when the devotees are going to go down after dana, the monk was using the rope to go to the bottom of the mountain. So when devotees go down, oh, Bhante, you are here. How come? You were there 2 hours ago. Yeah, we can do such. I mean, insinuating, indirectly saying about jhanas and all that, and getting respect and then gaining things, which the Buddha actually denied not to do that. Remember, the Buddha and some other monks went to cross a river. Unexpectedly, they had to cross a river. So they were waiting. The Buddha was waiting with other monks for the boat person to come back to this side. And the other pre-Buddhist people, I would say those sannyasis, those samanas, they used their powers and then they went to the other side, crossing the river. They didn't cross, they just levitated onto the other side. But the Buddha did not do that. So other monks said, why don't you do that? So we can go there very soon, right? Very quickly. So the Buddha said, wait. Let's wait till the boatman goes to the other side and then come back here with normal people. So he picked up a couple of people from this side and dropped them off on the other side, and picked up a couple of other peoples from that side, and he came over to this side. Then what the Buddha did was, the Buddha asked, how much money did you charge or do you charge to cross people to the other side? And then he said 5 kahapanas. 5 kahapanas is one of the currencies at that time. Then the Buddha said, the price of levitating from this side to the other side is 5 kahapanas. But don't do that. Don't levitate just for this 5 kahapanas. So Buddha is somebody like that, not showing off, not bragging. So this is what the Buddha says: do not. Uh, Actually, this is pretty bad. Buddha had everything, but he didn't. But some of the monastic, they didn't have anything, but they just wanted to show. And there was another monk who is sometimes hiding in a cauldron in the temple. When people come to the temple, he's hiding. People are just going over and hear from other monks. Where are these monastics? And after some time, he's coming out of the cauldron, and then they are saying that we were looking for you. Yeah, we can come and we can go and come back like this. Okay, so getting some respect. So that's what the Buddha said. Don't change postures to gain things from lay people. It's called changing postures to deceive lay devotees. Iriyapada. So puhana, in terms of a monastic, means these three. One is do not do things to gain more, what you call requisites. There are many things one may do, but don't do as such. Do not tell devotees about any paths and what you call maggapalas. Actually, a good person never talks as such, right? And also, do not show that I have these postures too. I can do these postures, and then thereby people are deceived, so to get living. Now, how do we understand this for the lay people? Scheming in terms of requisites. Yes. Do lay people also cheat on others based on the just because of the requisites? You also need clothing. You also need food. You also need medicine. You also need a place, a roof over you, right? Do lay people also cheat on others? They might. Some might. They might say different things to get some money to live, get some money to buy some clothing, get some additional money to buy food, get some what you call other things, especially these foreign. So never ever cheat anybody, your customers, your audience. When it comes to a monk, nun, their devotees, whoever, never ever cheat on anybody just because you want to survive with your four requisites, regardless of lay people or monastics. Also, never ever brag about your whatever spiritual attainments, right? This is applicable to all those people, lay people, monastic, and never ever show certain so-called postures to uh, deceive others to gain some money, gain some respect, right? Now, if you look at the Buddhist context, Buddhist societies, there's a huge amount of discussions, conversations going about we have to respect. Yes, we are supposed to respect to good people. But on the other hand, there are certain people who are cheating. We never look at it. Cheating and people are getting cheated. So we have to understand these both. Okay. All right. That is called kuhana. All right. Then we are going to the lapana. Simply speaking, lapana means talking. What kind of talking? Conversational deception as a means of supporting oneself. Conversational deception, which means, is it marketing? Are we getting cheated by marketers? When you go to a supermarket, shopping mall, are there people to cheat on you? They are saying this is a good credit card. These have some rewards. You can earn some miles. This is a good insurance. We never read the small, tiny letters in the insurance plan. Huh? Are we reading all these tiny, small letters? When you buy a premium plan, very small. When something goes wrong, they say, look at it. There we mentioned that in that small letters. Right? Right. And then there are many ways others can, people can cheat on others by talking, Mostly a good talker, mostly, more probably a good cheater, probably. Because when people talk well, They can easily deceive others. You start from the politicians. When they become very good talkers, they are deceiving the people, right? To get the votes, to stay in the power. If you look at people in the marketing industry, corporate industry, this would happen too, right? So, anyways, Lapana means making a living by cheating on others in the form of talking. So we are not supposed to engage in conversation or deception where we may cheat on others by talking, especially the promotions and those things. I mean, there are good people too, respect to them, but there are at the same time such people who might cheat on others. Okay. And then we are going on to Nemitte Kata. Let me put some numbers. Be easy for you to understand. Huh? So scheming, Kuhana is number 1. Conversational deception is number 2. Lapana. These are parts of Micha Ajiva. These are Micha Aji. If you don't do that, you are onto the Samadhi. Number 3 is hinting. Nemitte Kata. Making a living by deceiving people by hinting. Hinting. There comes a very good story which happened at the time of the Buddha. There was a monk, I think I already told some time ago, maybe another discussion. There was a monk who went for Pindapat. Arms bowl, round, Pindapat. So the female devotee in a particular household didn't want to offer dana on that day. Maybe she has something else. So she said, Bhante, I don't have any food in my kitchen. But then after having said that too, the monk was waiting. So she thought that then she has to find some food in some other ways. And she said, I would go over to one of my friend's houses and then we'll find some food for you. So she went. So during the time she left, she went. The monk went on to her kitchen. And then he saw what is in the kitchen. And he came back. And now she came back. Said, very sorry, I couldn't find any food. And then he said to the lady devotee, I knew it. I knew that. Then she asked, how did you know? Then he said this, when I'm leaving the temple, I encountered with a certain situation. When I was leaving the temple, I saw a cobra whose length is like the sugar cane that is hanging in your kitchen. She was like, really? Yes, it's like the length of the cobra is like the sugar cane that is hanging in your kitchen, somewhere in your kitchen. And then I was scared, so I had to chase the cobra away. So thinking that I tried to grab a stone. So that stone is like the jaggery in your kitchen. When I picked up the jaggery, the snake got a little bit, I would say, terrified. So he opened the mouth and I saw his teeth. Those teeth are like the rice that are in your pantry, probably in your kitchen. And then at the same time, there was something came out of the cobra, probably kind of a liquid. They are like the ghee, GHWE ghee in your kitchen. And the devotee knew, I cannot cheat on him. So wait. And she went into the kitchen and she made the food and offered to him. So the Buddha said, this is wrong. Don't force people to offer dana. Don't force. Do not push people to get something from devotees. So this is very interesting because there are people who, not even monks, I mean, push people to come to that level to get something out of it. Lay version. Lay version means that there may be some lay people who might push others to a point that other person has no choice, and then they are going to do something and trying to embarrass others and then to get something because of that embarrassment's benefit. So we are not supposed to do this. Name it kata. Name it kata means showing some of the what you call signs of something and to get it. Right? So Buddha said that's a micha ajiva. That's called hinting. Name it kata. Then we have belittling. Belittling means nitpesi kata, making a living by insulting, belittling people. Oh, that's interesting. Do you see that in your life? Sometimes there are people who are trying to blame us, other people, blame, keep blaming, and then till to a point that person feels very, what you call, embarrassed, very uncomfortable, and then have to give something to that person because of that extreme blaming, criticizing. Their plan is to put people down, keep putting down, morning to evening. Thereby they can get something out of that person. We call it nippesi kata. Have you ever observed some vendors, some merchants who are doing that? When you go to buy certain things, let's say you are just trying to try on, but the vendor is trying to push you, if you don't buy it, you won't find it anywhere in 1 hour. This will be gone. Huh? Don't come here again. Try to put you like kind of belittle you, right? This is the last item that we have. If you go anywhere, you won't find it. Even if you leave here, come back, also, we don't have it for you. Trying to push you, and belittle you. Maybe you are such a good person, good people like you should buy this thing. And then try to belittle and then try to put you to a certain area of your life at that point, mentality, and then to let you buy it, making that dream happen. So this kind of living is not uh, approved by the Buddha. Never ever belittle other people. Let them give the choice, right? And then they will make plans. Right? Even for a devotee to come to the temple, even for a devotee to offer dana, even donation, whatever, nobody should push, right? You can just talk, but nobody should push. That is micha ajiva. That means the temple can do also in the temple can engage in the micha ajiva too, because they have to run. So be very careful when they are doing so, right? Then we have last one. Labhena labang nijiginsana. Pursuing gain with gain, motivated by covetousness. Making a life by applying the pursuing gain with gain thought. A good example. Now, let's say, what is the layperson version of this? Number 5. That means, let's say you understand one of your friends got a gift from another friend. And now you are pushing that friend. You know what? This is a gift. So giving a gift given by somebody to you to another person is a great gift. So you are pushing that person to uh, make that happen. Or maybe you are going to a certain place and you are planning to do a donation in that place. The person who is running that place is talking, these people donated as much as this much money was the thing that I got, this place got, and insinuately, maybe indirectly, uh, pushing you to make another donation, another sum. That is what it's called as gain with gain. Now, the person, merchant, vendor, or the temple, or whatever the place, already got a big lump sum or something. Now, or maybe a profit. Now, the temple or whatever those places are trying to promote that particular donation, the particular thing, to gain something else in a different way. Right? This is called labhena labham nijiginsa. If people want to donate, let them donate, but not to pursue gain by gain. This is the fifth, what do you call, the fifth wrong way, Micha Ajib. All right. Now the next comes some of the questions that I have put. Maybe looking at the timing, I'm going to go for a couple of questions. These are my questions for people who are in the class. All right. So what is then Micha Ajiva? Micha Ajiva means somebody is going to cheat on other people just to get money in terms of requisites, sharing with them some of their attainments, and also showing them some postures to gain, because to get some respect from them and to gain things from others, right? So this can go on to lay people and monastics too. So that should be avoided. Lapana means there are times people can use talking to cheat on other people, maybe marketing side, maybe even the spiritual side too. Never ever use talking to deceive other people to gain something, just to make yourself happy. Other than that, you are having a very conscious discussion, conscious conversation with somebody to talk about something in a very friendly, in a very honest way, not to hide certain those things and then to sell something. That's pretty bad. If you are somebody who sold things to others without telling the truth of that product, right? There are people doing as such. They are saying they are having certain items in there. We got it from Himalaya, Himalaya Mount, India, but they didn't get it from Himalaya. They get it from local place, but they are promoting this idea to gain something. They might be promoting certain things to certain things with some popular brands, just to deceive people to get more money. That is un-Buddhist. That is Micha Aji. We call it Lapana. And then you can see hinting nemitikata means making some hints so that people are very embarrassed, so that you can make things from them. You can take things from them, right? That is also Micha Aji. And there are people who might do belittling, nippesikata, which means what you call insulting, belittling people to make money, right? Which is also not a good thing Buddhists should do. They have to always understand that insulting others, maybe belittling others, is not a good way to make money. And finally, pursuing gain with gain, which means you already had a profit and you are using that profit to make more profit, which is not a good idea. Rather than you are being honest and then talking about it, not with that particular gain, rather you are trying to be very cooperative, honest about the product you are selling, in that you are going to do the business with. Okay, so if you are not making money, making your living with these five, that means you have Samma Ajiva, but you are doing them in whatever the format, that means you still don't have Samma Ajiva, you have Micha Ajiva, wrong living. Follow-up questions for this particular section. What is the type of living related to the Noble Eightfold Path? Okay. Can a layperson who is doing a job 9 to 5, 8 to 4, every day, maybe weekdays, engage in the Noble Eightfold Path? Yes, they can engage. But they have to stay clear from these five. Right? Why an ethical job is necessary for you? Does this mean we have to avoid certain jobs? Well, according to the teaching we saw in the Anguttara Nikaya's Sutta, we understand it's better to avoid those work. But I understand it's not practical in today's world to choose work for many people. But try as much as you can to stay away from those ones. And then let's say you may have a certain good purpose. Let's say you may be involved in the pharmaceutical industry where people are making medicines, right? And the main purpose is, to invent new medications, new breakthroughs. So at that point, it is a different thing. So it's not technically these five, but it may be not. So you have to understand how you are engaged in that particular work. Are the jobs of the Buddha's time simpler than what people have to do in today's world? Very interesting, right? It can be, yes. I mean, even if you look at the meat industry at the Buddha's time, right? Uh, there may be slaughterhouses, but in today's world, everything has been industrial. So people are engaging in those things differently. So work has been more complex now. Because work has been more complex in today's world, so you have to decide whether you are doing an unethical thing in that particular job. Otherwise, you cannot say that this is a wrong type of work. Is Sama Ajiva only for working people? What about house husband, housewife? Sama Ajiva for everybody. It's for everybody. Because you may, in today's world, you may work online, right? You may work from home. So you are still working from laptops, computers. So whatever the jobs you are doing, engage with, you have to stay clear from what you call kuhana lapana, nimittikata, nipesikata, labena laba, nijikinsa. Stay clear from those five interpretations. And then we have how different is the secular and non-secular right living. Now, this is about monastics and devotees. Devotees are mostly on secular roles and monastics are on non-secular mostly, more or less. So it doesn't matter. Whatever the work that they are engaged with, they have to. Work means even becoming a monk or a nun, you have to stay, you have to live, you have to survive. You need food, you need clothing, you need shelter, you need medications. So whenever your needs are there, you have to meet them with proper ways. You have to meet them with ways that are not with these five. You have to stay clear from these five and then to uh, be the opposite of these five to make your living, whether you are a monk, nun, or a lay person. How do the commercial advertisements that we can see on social media, on TV relate to Samma Ajiva? What if they publicize wrong information and ask, yeah, that is Micha Ajiva? I mean, that is what I've been saying. They might be showing different things, wrong information. They might be using popular people to the advertisement. They might cheat people with popular people, right? They're gonna probably, let's say there is a cream that they want to promote. So they are going to find out somebody who is already uh, good on that side. Maybe not with that particular cream. They're going to use that person to advertise, sell that particular cream, right? So and cheat on others. And people think that this person had already used the cream. That's why she or he's like that, right? That's Micha Arjun. Is there a role we can play when it comes to our own vulnerabilities to bad things like addiction due to commercial advertisement? Yes, we can do. I mean, that's why we are teaching you. That's why I'm teaching here. There are five wrong ways to make your living. So if you understand these five, you not only see it from yours, you are only you are also looking at from other people's side too. What are these advertisement companies doing? What are these commercial advertisements are saying? What are these TV channels are promoting? You are trying to question, thinking about it. So you can be not vulnerable at that point. You have more mindfulness to understand what they are promoting. What do you think about marketing and Sama Ajiva? It connected so much, as you understand, wrong marketing, right? So you can market in the proper way by telling people the truth, but not hiding information about it. So you can avoid Micha Ajiva and then practice Sama Ajiva. Don't earn money in a profession that brings harm to others. What do you think about this? Yeah, don't earn money in a profession that brings harm to others. Well, I mean, we are all supposed to engage in, especially you as lay people, engage in work that are not going to harm others. right? That's what the Buddha said in that sutta also. Try to find as much as you could. Let's say you are already in that kind of work. So you are planning now, maybe one day when I can, I'm going to move on to a more ethical kind of work, right? That might be better for me, spiritual. What do you think about professions we choose that are a messy mixture of good and bad consequences, right? It depends. It depends. So now, if you have a choice, you can make the move. Uh, if you cannot make a choice, at least you can change your mindset, intention on how you are going to engage in this job, keep working on this particular job in the future. I think no job is 100% ethical, isn't it? There may be certain aspects of unethical side too, because when it comes to profit making, so you have to understand what it is. Right? I think we are almost at the end here. Is an effort to understand the antecedents and consequences of our work mindfulness. Yes. Yes, I mean, in order to make that mindfulness working, I think we need to have a wisdom to choose whatever the jobs we are involved with. We have to have wisdom. A lot of people don't talk about it. Uh, a simple level of mindfulness will help you to be wise, but wisdom takes over. If you have a lot of wisdom, you understand work, whether your work is free from those things, those what you call uh, scheming or hypocrisy, cheating on other people, maybe conversational deception kind of jobs, maybe hinting and then misleading other people to get some money, things out of other people, and then belittling, blaming, and then using one gain to gain more gains. You will not do as such. You understand with wisdom, this is not for me. I want to choose the ethical, moral, wholesome path for my work. Task 3. Does the right livelihood, now here again, the question how it came, right living, connect to ecological responsibility? Yes. I mean, when we are really understanding right living, that can lead to a more responsible person in terms of environment, ecosystem, this global world. We understand what it is. We are respecting nature a lot. You're not going against nature. Can we narrow down to limit livelihood to our job? Yes, you could, definitely. Finally, what can we learn from Digajanu Sutta, called Vyagapaja, about running an individual household? Seems this was given to the rich. Yes. Now, in the Digajanu Sutta, very interesting sutta, we call Vyagapaja. Maybe I'm going to click on this sutta and tell you the what do you call the number of the sutta. Right. This is going to be Anguttara Nikaya 854. Say AN. Oh, sorry, that AN. Anguttara Nikaya 854. Okay. In this sutta, one rich man came to see the Buddha. He said to the Buddha, Bhante, I don't want to listen to a lot of deeper Dhamma teachings. I'm a rich man. I'm so enjoying my life. Tell me something that is good for me and my people like me. Then the Buddha said, there are 4 things that you must practice for this life, and 4 things you must practice in this life for the next lives. Uttana Sampada, Arakka Sampada, Kalyana Mittata, Samajevikata, which means for this life. Energetic life, maybe creating more energy, good energy, then safety, then Kalyana Mittas, noble friends, and more importantly, the most important thing to our discussion is Samajevikata, balance out our what we call income and expenditures. We have to balance out. This is what we call by what can we learn from Digajana Sutta, Bhagavad Sutta, about running an individual household. That means you have to balance out your income and expenses all the time. If your income is too low, but you're going to spend more, right? So you have to always balance out. As a Buddhist, you can't have a life where you're going to spend too much in a living where you are not making enough money for that. That means income, expenses have to be balanced up, called Samajivi Kata. So if you learn this sutta as well, Digajana Sutta, you can see in 854, the Buddha said a good household is where you are properly balancing out your expenses and income. All right. So today, what we've been learning is Samma Ajiva. Samma Ajiva means the absence of scheming, one, talking, conversational deception, number two, hinting, number three, belittling, number four, pursuing gain and gain with gain, number five. So Samma Ajiva means the absence of doing, engaging in these five, and then engaging in the absence of these five. So you are not scheming, talking to cheat other people, hinting to scheming to cheat other people, talking to cheat other people, hinting to cheat other people, belittling to cheat other people, and pursuing gain with gain to cheat other people on other people to make your living. If you are free from these five, then you have Samma Ajiva. All right, I think that's about the notes and about Sama Ajiva. Uh, Sama Ajiva is very important because you all have to work, have a cash flow, money flow, but that thing has to come from the proper way. The proper way is the absence of these five. All right, back to Sonia. If you have any questions, maybe we can talk.
Yes, we have a virtual hand. Yes, please go ahead.
Bante, I would like to know what are the four practices for the next life you didn't mention. Yeah, thank you.
I was in this life and talking, so I didn't mention them. Interesting. So the four things must be practiced in this life itself. We call them Saddha, Sila, Chaga, Panya. That means you have to improve your trust about the Buddha Dhamma Sangha and the trust that you have among your loved ones and other people. Trust, good trust, mutual trust, good trust. That's number one. Number two is a Sila. Sila means you have to keep maintaining your Sila, not just taking the precepts. Maintain the Sila is more difficult than taking the precept. Maintaining as much as you could. Number three is Chaga. That means giving up while you are giving. You are giving things, what you call dana or whatever other things. But when you are giving to others, when you are giving anything to others, even a smile, good smile to others, you are giving up anything attached to that, anything attached in terms of benefits. That has to be done from a very high mind. Call it dana has charm. A lot of people, they only end up with dana. Dana has to go with charm. Higher version of dana is called charm. Charm means you have to give without having strings attached to that dana's result. That you have to maintain that habit, maintain it all the time. And finally, wisdom. Improve wisdom. In order for you to improve wisdom, you have to stay free from a couple of mental states. I would say avijja, visamadopha, and all that. So you are working on your wisdom regularly, not one day, not just on a retreat. I have to keep continuing consistently. So when you practice these four in this life, now there are four before, they are for this life. You have to additionally practice four, therefore next life, but you are practicing now in this life. So Saddha, Sila, Chaga, Panya. Uttana Sampada, Arakka Sampada, Kalyana Mittata, Samajivikata. Uttana Sampada means have to practice energy in the proper way for whatever the good task. Arakka Sampada means you have to make safety in terms of your life and for your loved ones and others. Kalyana Mittata is being surrounded by Kalyana Mittas, noble friends. Samajivikata means balancing out your income expenses. These are for this life. If you are doing as these four well, you are definitely a very now to Vyagapacha, Digajanu, you're gonna be a very good rich man, rich lady. I mean, not even for rich people, even for anybody. And if you are continuing Saddha Sila Chagapanya in this life, this will bring you to comfortable lives till you finally attain Nibbana. We have to practice it.
Thank you.
Okay. I think we got a lot of questions in the meantime, isn't it? Okay. Is the member get member or multi-level marketing a wrong livelihood? These websites say if you suggest this link to other people, you get some discounts. Maybe you get some money. Many websites, and I don't think it's a problem. But the problem is if you fell prey to a scam, and you are going to bring another good person to the scam, definitely you are going to be charging, isn't it? You are a part of a scam. But if you bring another person to the scam, you get more money, right? So, but if you think that it is a good thing, you understand this is really helping other people, benefiting other people, that company or marketing is not bad for that person's life. Let's say an insurance package, insurance company, right? You are part of that insurance that maybe your premium might go down, right? As a consequence of introduction. But at the same time, this is a good insurance that nobody, that you have not experienced it anywhere. So it's a good thing, right? But if you do it just because you want the reduction of money, that discount, that might be a bit charging. If you only look at your side, if you only look at that tiny profit. But if you look at by introducing this insurance to another person, this person's life will be more comfortable. In the case of a medical emergency or another thing. So then I don't think it's a wrong livelihood. I think there's no problem. Is working in a hospital staff a good? Definitely, you are helping other people. And we are saying even an ambulance is going by, we wish the person who's in the ambulance be free from suffering. So it's I think you may have hospital ethics, whatever the job you are in the hospital, but you can do your job in the hospital with lots of metta, karuna to these people who are coming and going out. And then these 4 things lead to the welfare and happiness of a gentleman. This is the answer, Dhamma folks, that I gave to Sister Florence. See, what 4? Accomplishment in faith, Saddha Sampada, ethics, Sila Sampada, generosity. This is a bad translation actually. Chaga, generosity and wisdom, Panya. This is the translation. Thank you for putting that up here. Made me easy. Something is wrong with my mind. Right? Okay, you put it up here. There is this Buddhist movement which solicits donations by promising merits, which are tied to the size of their donation. I think this is wrong, but as a Buddhist, should we call them out? Well, there are people like that in some places. Yeah, so I don't think you have to be very serious about it. Taking everything onto your hand and trying to challenge these people. Probably they might face this from others somewhere in the future. But anyways, not only one organization. There are many organizations who are not even Buddhist. They are doing so. There are different cults, right? So don't worry. Keep your practice going. There may be certain good ways to curb these organizations, I think. Bhante, are investments a type of pursue gain with gain? Actually, this pursue gain with gain, labena laba nijiginsa, is something somebody can do to other people. Let's say that you have a gift, you are using that gift received from other people to gain other gift from other people. So investment, the Buddha actually asks you to improve your wealth management. So in that case, investments, moral, ethical investments are good, okay, because you can't survive with the government work, normal other work in today's world. Inflation is too high, so you have to depend on, you have to plan your future, unless you are making it in the wrong way, right? So generally, investments are okay, but pursue gain with gain. Uh, if it is related to other people, if it is done to mislead other people, this can be a problem. If you are not misleading others, if you have something really solid, valid, honest, then I don't think investments are a bad thing. What about animal testing on drugs to save life? Okay, I think today's world there is a big discussion about this. Why are we trying to have animals as guinea pigs, right? But the thing is that they might say, no, we have a greater purpose, greater intention. Our plan is to save many humans, right? Uh, we hope one day they are doing it in different ways, not on animals. But even if you take, I'm not trying to justify what they have been doing, but this is how things have been happening. We are trying to look at the greater good about everything, but I hope one day they are going to find uh, different ways to test on these drugs to save other people. What about multi-level marketing? People who sells a very good product by earning a very high income. Now, we are not worried about high income. Right? If you are able to do as such, you may go for it because not everybody can do. High income is not a problem. The problem is whether you have greed towards that, to your high income, maybe to other people's income. If you have the qualification, if you have the skills, if you are a very honest, ethical person, go for it. Not everybody can do it. But the problem here is that multi-level marketing people who sells a very good product. Yes, you say, you understand it's a very good product. Very good product should be something really benefiting other people in the proper way. At the same time, it might be beneficial to others. It could be okay. Right? Finally, those hawker selling chicken rice is considered wrong business in dealing with me. So I think we cannot go to these tiny levels to discuss. But what I'm saying is that uh, in one sutta, Buddha talks about selling meat is not a good industry. I mean, we are not saying that everybody who is part of a meat industry, meat shop, meat company, they are doing a bad thing, bad living. But the Buddha asks people try to avoid if you could. If you cannot avoid, try to plan a certain time in your life to change your career. If you could, right? Uh, this is an idea. So otherwise, I cannot go on to these detailed things to answer like um, these are related to certain ideas, but the idea is that selling meat kind of industry is the idea. All right, so we have time actually. Any more questions? Another very important thing to understand is sometimes when we read the sutta text, uh, we have to be careful in taking the idea of those sentences because modern practical life and the sutta text uh, can be read differently. So whatever the things that we are reading, we have to read by understanding what could be the uh, a way we are going to practice it now in our life. Right? Otherwise, you are bringing something that was given a long time ago without any purpose in this time. Especially now, somebody might make an argument: if nobody is selling meat, why we are eating meat? If we stop eating meat, there is no industry for that. So that's why we have to understand how are these things going to work in our life, right? better somebody works on a life, works on a living where that person is not engaged in those, so that that person can make more time for Dhamma things, especially for not killing kind of thing. Yeah.
Sister
Yes,
Flora, do you have a question for Bhante?
okay, there's one more question.
Okay, Bhante, we have a question on chat from
Yes.
Sister. Yes.
But if we rent out our shop for the meat seller, are we involved in meat selling? Sometimes people rent out and then they start the shop after. We don't know what shop they are going to do it. Isn't it? They rent the space, then they come up with this meat idea. Somebody told you if you sell meat, you could profit. Initially, they might say we are going to do a clothing store. But then they realize meat shop is better than selling clothing. So we don't know. You may rent out, they come up with the idea. Right? So there are certain, I think, boundaries in all these deals, arrangements with the rentees, right? So yes, you are not involved with that because you are only giving the space to them. You don't know what business they are going to do it, right? But let's say somebody is renting your space and doing a drug business, which is really a crime. Of course, you have to make a decision. But if they are, approved by the city, that might be a difference. So in this case, you are not involved in that particular thing because you are only renting the space. But let's say you are thinking like, okay, I want to give my space to somebody who is doing a meat business. That's a different idea, right? Now you have the space. There is no rentee for you at the moment, but you are thinking, I'm going to give it to a rentee who is going to do a meat business in my space. That could be a different way to see this question. But in this question, what we understand is that you are not giving to a meat seller, you are giving to somebody, and they are then later on saying, we are going to do a meat shop here. That's why we rented. We are going to rent. Maybe we rent.
Brothers and sisters, are there any more questions or comments for Bhante?
In Brother Ang's message, sharing just now, Bhante mentioned that no livelihood is perfect. I wonder if that applies to livelihood as a monastic. How hard is it to live a life like a white, polished conch shell, as frequently mentioned in the suttas? No, what I'm saying is, I was saying is about lay people actually. They have to stay free. Actually, even when it comes to a monastic, yes, to a certain extent, because they have to depend on the lay people. When they have to depend on the lay people, there are maybe certain monastics who may have to keep depending on them. At that point, they may engage in certain things in this Micha Ajiv. Probably that's why we have a lot of stories in the text. So I think nobody is free from Micha Ajiva unless they understand what is Micha Ajiva and do the necessary things to avoid, to stay free from Micha Ajiva. Be that a monk, nun, lay people. So lay people have more vulnerabilities. Monastics also have definitely vulnerabilities to engage in Micha Ajiva. They have to make a conscious effort to stay free from this one. Bhante, Sama Ajiva, can we translate it into right living or lifestyle? I think lifestyle is also okay. It's also good. Livelihood is not good. Livelihood is more likely a job. Because when you say Sama Ajiva, it is right living. But when we go to talk about the lay people's living, it can be a livelihood income when it comes to a lay person. But the Sama Ajiva means, Ajiva in this case means living, the way how you spend the lifestyle. So yes, it's not livelihood Ajiva is not livelihood, it's living, actually, maybe lifestyle. Is involving in gambling business, running a shop, selling lottery? Well, gambling is definitely not recommended. What is the Pali word for that? Gambling. There's a Pali word for gambling. It's definitely, it has clearly meant, the Buddha has clearly mentioned, gambling is not good. And you may call the lottery business in as a part of it. I mean, yeah. Itti dutto, sura dutto, akka dutto, akka dutto. This one. Ka means gambling. Gambling. Akka. Right? These are probably easy money, right? Go and make money, but then again you lose, right? So akka means gambling. So definitely gambling is not approved in Buddhism, definitely. But then the problem arises when two Buddhist gamblers invited a couple monks to bless a casino they started in Las Vegas, Nevada. And Buddhist monks fell into the blessing issue there. They had to go and bless the casino. They started their casino, big casino in Nevada, right? Anyways, so that's why I'm saying that we have to be very conscious and very careful in understanding these things. All right, so we can take probably another 1 to 2 questions. 4 more minutes we have. Now, when you, before somebody asks a question, when you say lottery, I'm not trying to be very hard on this idea, lottery. What I'm saying is that ideally speaking, it's good to stay free from these things. But we know there may be somebody who is very poor, who has nothing to do, who might be doing this kind of a thing, right? There's no big harm in, like, on the surface level, right? But if you are somebody who can do a lot of other things, why you are going to be a part of the gambling thing? Gamblers, they make problems to family. Gamblers, they definitely cheat on other people, their spouse, right? So it's better to stay away from that kind of stuff, just for your own benefit and for your family benefit.
Bante?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Bante, may I ask you follow-up questions about gambling?
Yes.
Just now, Bante, you mentioned that, for example, monks may be invited to do the blessing, right? But then sometimes, if let's say, for example, the lay devotees, they are cheeky, they don't inform you in advance, then you agree to it, but then when you arrive at the venue, it's a lottery shop or shop lot or something like that. So then in that case, what is the proper action by the monk? So they feel a bit cheated. They are not informed in advance about the venue, but then they already agree. So what is the proper action?
Now, let's take it this way. On one side, they are supposed to be very kind to lay people. Blessings are part of kindness. But you can't be kind to do bad things, right? I think if a monk is invited for a blessing in a corporate field, they have to know from the devotee, what are we going to do? What are we going to bless for? They had to inquire. Not that devotee comes and, hey, Bante, can you just get in my car? I have a business starting today. Yes, just bless me. I think that kind of way might not be appropriate. So they have to make sure where I'm going today, who I'm going to bless today. So I think that has to be done in the first place. So I think that is the proper way. Other than that, they just wait when the devotees come, they pick them up from the temple. They don't know where they are going. That might not be a proper way. If we look at these textual things, other than that, they can please the people, they can please their devotees. Because nowadays, temples need lots of money to carry on their stuff. They might go on that route. But if you look at these texts, we understand. I think monks have to advise lay devotees not to fall prey onto their money. Advise, this is the good thing. If you don't like, that is not something else. So keep the blessings for the right people. Keep the blessings for the right, really worthy, deserved people, and for their whatever the genuine endeavors, what they are doing, not for those ones who are trying to cheat on. Even they cheat on inviting, they are not telling what they are going to do, where they are taking the Bantes too, I think, right? So I think that's the better way. So I think better, they have to, monks have to inquire first, where I'm going to go, where I'm going to go and do the blessing, for what purpose. I think that's a good thing, other than house blessing.
Thank you, Bante. It actually happened to Ajahn Brahm.
Yeah, it can happen to anybody. Now, I know it was consciously happened to a couple monks in Nevada, because for them, these are very big casinos, and you know, they can depend on the money too for the temple. So it's something to think about in a way. All right. So two more questions, but they how to handle blame if someone blames us. I think this is a part of Nippesikata, right? Someone keep blaming you until you give money to that person. Keep blaming, and you feel very, very uncomfortable, and you feel like you want to give money and then to close the deal at that point. All right. If the blame is coming for something you did really wrong, apologize, make the move from there. But if the blame is coming very maliciously, I think you have to do certain things. Probably you have to ask why you are blaming. Maybe you have to plan how to avoid that blame, probably in a better way, not to make a problem, right? Maybe you can stay away from these people. Maybe you can walk away. You can plan, why is this coming? If you find somebody who has Nippesikata, you have to plan how to avoid that person. Finally, I think last question. What about, how do I pronounce this? Feng Shui? Feng Shui, right?
Feng
Shui
Shui,
master.
Feng Shui, Feng
Feng
Shui.
Shui master. Okay. So what? What about him? What's the problem with him? What about, I mean, whatever the things they are asking you to do? Maybe.
Bante, you are aware what's the purpose of Feng Shui? Are you aware of the purpose?
Purpose. Is it right type of livelihood? For you or for them? For
I
them.
think the
them.
question is
For them.
for them, yeah.
Okay, for them. Well, I think I don't know a lot about them. I have heard what they are doing. Probably they are talking about what do you call energy to come into your house and all that. Well, if you believe as such, that's the way to understand. It's not only from say. I think there are many other. Even in Sri Lanka, they have their own, those things. They believe in certain things. So I think it's a okay. If they are promoting something, they are really not sure about it. They are trying to mislead people just to make money. That is a problem. But if they have a certain traditional uh, maybe learning that they think that this can really help others, that could be a different thing. So yeah, so if they are not really cheating on others by promoting something that they don't know, something not really working, if they're not promoting others by understanding that this is something really working in their own way, that could not be micha aju. But if they are really promoting something just to get money, I think that could be micha aju. So it depends. And for the people, you always have the choice whether to go, whether not to, whether to believe as such, whether to not to believe them. So I think you can always make sure that you are on the safer side. For them, it depends. We don't know what their motive, because this particular field is widely accepted for certain what you call energy things. So we cannot just say this is a bad thing. But if they have a certain traditional what you call way how to give advices about energy, that could be a difference, because they might do it out of compassion for people, not to only get money. So that's how I think about it. All right, I think we have almost come to the end, and maybe I'm going to do the transfers.